Hello folks, this is our third video on the Clark Advanced Shark Tank, and we've got a couple other little add-ons that we put together for this project. One is actually wiring in a switch and hardwiring some LED lights. You can see those LED lights in here. Two of them gives a pretty good light on the work surface. Right now you got the shadow from the gantry in there that you're seeing. I'm trying to get this so that you can actually get a feel for the light. We have a lot of ambient light in this room, so it actually looks darker in the shark tank than it actually is on video. But it gives you an idea, that you could utilize. You can see in here that we've added a Xbox controller. Now this is something that I kind of stumbled across by accident. I bought a set of controllers for my kids, not realizing that they have a different game controller, not an Xbox controller. And I think, well, now do I return it or what do I do with it? And then of course I thought, hey, Dad's got his own toys. So I adapted this to hook to the CNC machine. Now, it's a very low-cost item to get yourself a jog control if you don't like having to use the mouse while you're actually setting things up. Here I made a tray so that I can either leave it in the tray, use the jog controls, or I can just pick it up and use it like a regular jog controller. The mapping on here, I mean, it's really entirely up to you on how you would set something like this up. Now what I did is I used the speed control and the step increment, put it on this control here, okay? And let's see if I can show you how that works. Okay, so if I go up and down, I'm going fast, medium, slow, and then in step mode. If I go right to left with this control, I'm actually changing the step increment. I then mapped the X and Y to these, and I'm always hesitant to put the Z-axis on a common control because that's where you're most likely to mess something up. So I use the buttons over on this side to map those controls. But pretty much you have most of the major functions here. And let's see if I can show you this here. We're just sending our Y-axis forward and back. Now we're stepping our X-axis. And of course over here, the Z-axis. And again, you have full speed control. And the utility that I use, there's a couple of freebies on there that allow you to map the buttons of your keyboard onto an Xbox controller. There's also some paid applications. They're really inexpensive. I would do some research online if you're interested in doing something like this. I believe the name of the one I'm using, it's a paid app. It's a $10 application, and it's called Xpadder. Xpadder. So I would highly recommend looking at that. It's one of the nicer ones that's out there. It's a guy who is pretty much an independent, does some programming, and set up that software for gaming. Next thing I want to show you is these cam clamps. Not an original idea, but more often than not when you see these things, they have a low profile bolt coming up through to keep the clearance down, because we have the worst thing that can happen to you with your CNC machine is when you start running over things you're not supposed to with your cutter. So a lot of people like to use the low profile bolts so that they can set their Z-axis clearance over the top of those and never have to worry about hitting clamps. Now, personally, I like this just for the speed, because I can take a block, drop this in quickly, and then clamp something down. It's great for if you're doing a lot of repetitive cuts, or let's say you've got your G-code set up for 8 or 10 different projects, and you just want to be able to drop something in and fire it up. It's pretty much as close as you can get to a quick change. Now, obviously, you get into vacuum tables and things like that, but this is the, we'll say, the poor man's version. Obviously, we use the machine here itself to cut these out. All you got to do is put about an 1/8 inch offset on your center point. And what I find is best to do, well, my preference is you set the cam up so that you can slide it in when it's straight towards work, and then you can ratchet it down either left or right depending on what you're doing. Another word to the wise here, okay? Because I've got this knob that sticks up, and again, a lot of people go with low profile. Because I got this knob that sticks up here, I always use a spacer block, and that will give me the extra clearance that I need. And as you can see, knock on wood, all of my clamps and hardware are nick and cut free. I'm trying to keep things that way, but you know, it takes some pre-planning to make sure that you know, you don't make those sorts of errors. Please check out my other videos. I got into the Dust Deputy here and their vacuum and blower system on here. There's my controller up there, monitor, computer. The unit we set up here so that you can actually, you can see that the table height is actually above the front lip here, and we did that so that we can pretty much put whatever we want. If we're routing a very long piece of material, we can actually take the front and back, open it up, and then we've got that travel on the y-axis. This unit is set up exactly as the folks, the makers of the CNC Shark set it up, with the x-axis going across the gantry, the y-axis going front to back. I know some people like to flip things around, but I found that this setup works for me, so I haven't made that change. Feel free to leave your comments below and check out my other videos. Thank you.